Okay guys, I thought I was recording and I guess I wasn't, so I thought I would just kind of show you and kind of explain where I'm at right now, and then I'll dive into the fast forwarding. So I took this pink ombre pattern, and this is Lucky Charm by Dear Lizzy, and I'm using that as my background, and I've also taken some pieces of paper from the 6x6 pad by Shorline, and it's this navy and white stripe. I used the thinner one just because I thought the bigger one was a little too distracting. I used the sailboat one up here and this kind of sunshiny one. And then I also took, this is a Project Life card from Studio Calico, and I just tucked it in and cut off the side. And then I have a piece of the Shoreline 12 by 12 paper, and it just spans across, and it's the wavy one. And then I just have a piece of this glitter tape all along the bottom just because I thought I would add a nice accent. And then this is a picture of my daughter and I, or my daughter and I guess I should say. And then I attached this anchor pocket here, and I'm going to probably put my journaling in there, and it'll be journaling for her. So that is what I have started so far, and then I'm just going to jump right into the fast forwarding, so keep watching. Okay, so here I am back with the other part of the scrapbook process video. Sorry about all the other stuff that was previously done. I thought I for sure had the video camera going, but I guess I didn't. So that top strip up there is actually the brand, like the sort of branding strip from that pink ombre looking paper, and it has the hole in the middle because it's actually from the paper pad, not the paper pack. So I wanted to use that stripe all the way across, so I figured the best way that I could kind of hide that would be to put a sticker over top. So I just kind of put that yellow sticker as far to the right as I could without exposing that little hole. So there I was taking that Shoreline paper, and I was just kind of measuring to make sure that it would fit in the pocket, and that's what I'm going to use to write my journaling on. And so here I'm going to get into writing my journaling. And I always use a .03 journaling pen. I find it's just the nice thickness, and I can write really nicely with it. I find with the 01, if I write too fast, then it'll just kind of not make really nice writing, and the 05 is a little too thick. So I always usually use the 03. So anyway, that's just a little note for you guys. Here I'm taking that yellow card I did the journaling on, and it just felt like it needed to have something so that you could pull it out of the envelope on. So I'm actually taking, this is, I believe it's My Mind's Eye. It's like, I don't know if you want to call it like jute twine or whatever, but it's like a really rough looking twine, and I thought that would kind of go with like the nautical type feel. So that's kind of why I chose to use that. This challenge, and just in case I didn't mention it before, is for a challenge with Sandra, who is ohsnapgonzo, and myself, and we both have issues with using anchors. Anchors seem to be an ongoing trend, and we have a hard time using it. So I kind of had mentioned in a video previously that her and I should have a little challenge, like a little scrap off, so to speak, to try and use them and apply them to our scrapbook pages. So that's kind of how this scrapbook page all came about. So if you go over to ohsnapgonzo, and I put how you say her YouTube, or how you spell her YouTube name, in the beginning of the process video, and she'll have one posted up today, and it was for May 18th. So hers should be up anytime now, or it is up, I'm not sure. So anyway, go over and check her out as well. This is some washi tape that I actually got from Sandra in a rack just recently, And this little one, this little part of the washi tape says "Follow your dreams," and it's got a little hand arrow, like a hand pointing to follow your dreams. And I thought that would kind of fit in with what the journaling about. And this journaling is about, actually, it's kind of like a note to my daughter. She's in grade 11, and she's going to be graduating hopefully next year. Next year's grade 12, so hopefully she'll be graduating. And for me, it's kind of a scary point, because her and I have been so close for so long. It's kind of scary to see your first one off. So I kind of did some journaling on this scrapbook page to her, saying, I always hope that, when it comes to her leaving home, that she'll always, find her way back to us, so to speak. So that's kind of where the journaling puts in there, but it also says that I hope that she will, become a person that she wants to be, etc., etc. So that's kind of where the follow your dreams fits in. And then that little anchor piece up at the top, that is actually an earring that I got from my mom. She kind of does a little bit of thrift shopping, and she found this bag of kind of cool earrings, so she gave it to me. So I just snipped the little post off the back of the earrings, and I'm going to use that. And I just popped it up with some pop dot adhesive. And then that little anchor piece is a flare badge that we got in this month's Project Life kit. I believe it was the Project Life kit, or it could be the scrapbook kit. It was one of the two anyway. And here I put some of this yellow chevron washi tape, and I thought I wanted to use this to kind of pop a little bit more yellow into the layout. But when I started to look at it a little bit more, it's not really what I want to use, and I started looking at other washi tape. And the reason why I kind of was using the whole washi tape is I actually was going to put my title at the bottom of my daughter and I's photo, and in later fact, I kind of changed the way I'm going to put my title on, which you'll see that in a minute. And here I take some of this, I think it's like the white with the blue triangle washi tape that we got from Studio Calico a while ago, and just to kind of add a little bit of color at the top of that little cluster that I have going up at the top of the photo. So here's where I'm going to start working on my title, and I thought a perfect place for my title would be on this envelope pocket. And these stickers I got in a rack from Sandra again, so thank you, Sandra. I actually used quite a few items that she sent me for this rack. So there was the washi tape, then there's this alphabet, and I think I used something else that she gave me too, and I'll mention that as we kind of get going on here. Oh yeah, there's for sure one more thing. I remember now what it was. So the title is going to be May Your Ship Always Sail You Home, because I kind of wanted to emphasize her leaving home and then coming back. So I used some of these, I think they're called Goodness stickers from, I think it's last month's Studio Calico kit, and they're kind of like this pink ombre looking font or color to them, and I thought that would kind of bring in that pink ombre looking paper from the background back into the kind of embellishments that are going on here. And then these tiny text stickers, these are actually from a Simple Stories, I think it's called Your Life Documented, I think is what it's called. And they kind of fit in with the color scheme. I tried pulling a couple other ones, but they were either too white or too cream, and these ones are kind of a taupey brown. So I thought that would kind of bring in a little bit of that brown from that little twine that I'm using there. And so here I'm just trying to figure out where else I'm going to put my alpha, like whether I want it across or underneath. And so here's where I'm coming in with that sail you, I'm sorry. And I haven't really done a mixed title like this in quite a while, and I really like doing them like this, so I'm probably going to be doing more like them. I usually don't do such big titles, but I really like how this title really emphasized some of the colors and the kind of journaling and the feel of everything. So I really think I'll probably be doing this again as well. And these stickers here, these are the same as those pink ones, except they're in a blue tone. And so it kind of added a little bit more of an ombre feel to the layout as well. And here you can see I pulled that washi tape off just because it was not flowing really well. And then here I'm going to be putting down my journaling, or sorry, my title. And I kind of get it on a little bit crooked here, so you'll see me fuss around with the placement a little bit. I just got it a little too far to the left, so I had to just kind of scooch everything up and then to the right a little bit. So it'll get fixed here in a second. And I really love these blue alphas. I think it's called the Lullaby font, I think is what it is. And again, those were from Sandra in Iraq, and they're awesome, Sandra. I just love them. So again, just kind of fussing with the placement of the title and getting it down. And I really like it on that envelope. It really added something that was kind of missing to the layout. And then here, I think I'm going to go for some chipboard just to kind of add some more elements to this. Oh, those are some gold memory keeping thickers that I got from Ronnie in Iraq, and I debated on using those, but I wasn't sure if I wanted a secondary title, but I decided against it. I thought I wanted to kind of focus on that title alone, so I didn't end up using those. And I pulled this washi tape off, but I'll end up putting a new piece on. I think when I cut it, it didn't turn out very well, so I just added a new piece and then just flipped it over. I wanted a little bit of a narrower piece, I think is what the issue was. And then here, I'm just going to move this anchor over, and I wanted to kind of add that twine to make it look like the anchor was tied, and I lost this twine somewhere along the way, so when you see the close-ups, it's not actually going to be attached, but after I did the close-ups, I saw this bow tied on my desk, so I actually attached it later on, so you'll have to take my word for it, I guess, that it is attached on there now. So I had to add 2 different thicknesses of these foam dots. Or actually, I think I only used these black ones. I tried adding the white and then the black, but because that envelope and then the paper has 2 different thicknesses, the anchor flare badge is a little wonky, like it sits a little crooked, but I'm just going to have to deal with it. It was kind of hard to match the thicknesses between the 2 different, like the flatness of the background paper and then the thicker part of the envelope. So it was a little hard to kind of get it to sit flat. And then you can kind of see me, I put some washi tape behind that envelope, and I tried pulling out one of those paper clips that Sandra gave me, but it just didn't work really well with the colors that were going on, so I'll have to save that for another layout. And then I pulled out these cameras that Sandra gave me, and these are from Prima. And I really like that camera, and that's the camera that I had said reminded me of my grandfather, so I really wanted to use that one and get it down while I could remember where it was. So I wanted to use that, so I set that out. And then here I'm going through some stickers, and these are from the Shorline. So there's this pink one that's kind of got a little star on the end of it. Just wanted a place for that camera to sit on, and then there's this little banner piece, and my head was in the way there, and it was pink. But the pink didn't really go because it was too close to, it was a little, or not color-wise, it wasn't close enough to that ombre paper, so it kind of stood out a little too much. So I took the blue one instead and put that down, and then there was some flowers in that sticker book as well, and there was like this bright pink one, which, because it was a flower and it was a little bit more away from that ombre paper, that I could get away with using it. And then there was this yellow flower and blue flower, and it looked really good beside that camera, so that's where those are going to stay. And then there was this pink little journal piece in a sticker, and I wanted to add a little bit more of a pink accent to the other side of the photo, just to kind of balance everything off a little bit. So I end up putting that half of it underneath that anchor page, and I'll save the other half for another part, or another time I should say. And then there was another blue flower, so I put that by that anchor piece as well. And here I'm coming in with some gold lame spritz. I wanted to spritz the page up before I got too close to the end, because I wanted to make sure it was drying, and just to see if I needed to add another pop of color somewhere along the way. So I added the gold. And I felt like these wood veneers needed a little pop of color, so I went through my embossing powder, and I wanted to just test this at first. So I took one of these feathers out from, this is from a Studio Calico kit we got quite a while ago. I think it was like November or October, and I wanted to kind of test the gold. So I tested it on this little feather, and just to kind of match the gold, because I had a couple different golds for embossing powder. And gold is one of those things, is you can get a really brassy gold, or you can get a really shiny gold. So I wanted to make sure I was going to get close to the same color of gold. So, and these wood veneers take the embossing powder really well. And here's where I kind of put it down to see, and I really like that flower, or that feather there, so I'm going to actually keep it on the page. Which is kind of ironic that Sandra and I, she has a problem with the feather thing as well as I do, so that might be another challenge that her and I have coming up is next, the flower thing, or the feather thing. So I don't know if Sandra will be up for that as well, but I think it's kind of funny. So I used one of those feathers, and here I'm going to take that camera, and I'm going to use the same gold embossing powder, and it's from Zing, and all it says is gold on it. It doesn't say anything else. So here I'm going to heat up that embossing powder, and there was one little spot where it didn't take the embossing powder really well, and I think that might have been where I put my thumb or something like that. So I sprinkle a little bit more on to see if I could, you know, kind of get it to melt a little bit more on it, but it still didn't work. And I didn't really feel like adding too much more embossing powder to it, because I thought it might kind of bleed out a little bit too much. When you get a second layer of embossing powder, kind of gets like an enamel coating, and because there's so much detail on that wood veneer, I didn't want to add too much embossing powder to it, and then the gold, when it melted, it would seep into those little open lines of the camera, and I thought it might lose it, so I didn't want to add too much more embossing powder to it. That's, I guess, a little bit too long of an explanation as to why, but that's why. So just going through, and I'm just attaching everything down and getting it to where I need it to be. And what else do I do here? Oh, I add up at the top, I'm gonna add, I believe I put remember. Yes, I'm pretty sure it was either remember or noteworthy. With this Amy Tangerine, it's like a roller date stamp, but it has phrases. And just trying to pull that layout out so that I can tell you what it says. And I can't remember what I did with it. I think it says no. I think it actually says remember. And then I stamped it in some, I think it's called Moonstruck Close to My Heart ink. And I can actually tell you what that one is. Yeah, it was called Moonstruck. And I just thought for a little bit of pop more of blue, I would use the Tropicana Teal Heidi Swap Color Shine. It just added a little bit more of a pop of blue. It was getting a lot of yellows and pinks in this layout now, so I just wanted to add a little bit more blue to it, just kind of pull everything back in again. And then I pulled these Arrow chipboard pieces, and they're from the Fifth and Frolic collection. So they kind of have like one chipboard arrow pointing one way and another arrow pointing the other way. And I really like how that draws your eye into the photo. And I tried using a couple other embellishment pieces, but I just didn't, you could see the pattern behind that camera, and I didn't want to add too much behind that camera. I just kind of wanted that camera to be a focus all on its own. I really like that camera. So I just kind of left it as is. I didn't put anything underneath it. And then I pulled out, these are those Amy Tangerine puffy vellum pieces, and I debated on using these as well. And the colors did go, like there was that pink heart and then that yellow kind of rectangular piece, but it just kind of felt it was a little bit too much going on already. So I just left it. So here I'm going to attach those chipboard pieces down. And then I can't remember what else I did. Oh, I go and I start looking at brads. I just wanted to add a little bit of, pop of something else. And I tried using these sequins that I got from a haul. Oh, I think it was in the beginning of April. But they're not the right color of pink. And like on the camera, it looks like they should go. But these pink little sequins are like really bright, vibrant pink. And the colors in for the pinks that I'm using are kind of a more muted, kind of almost close to a peachy pink. And when you start to add that kind of really bright pink on top of it, it clashes. So it looked like it would go when I sprinkled them on, but they really did not go at all. So that's the reason why I didn't use those. Otherwise, I probably would have used them. And unfortunately, they're the only sequins, I guess unfortunately or fortunately, maybe fortunately, they're the only colored sequins that I have, other than like the very few that I got in this month's Studio Calico kit. So I pulled out some enamel dots, and these are from Basic Gray, and they're the two-tone of pinks. One's a really soft, light pink, and the other one's more of that peachy, darker tone pink. And that's kind of the colors of more like what I was looking for. So I'm going to spread the lighter ones around first, and then I'm going to come in and just double up with the darker pink ones, just to add a little bit more. And I'm just putting them actually beside the lighter color ones, just to kind of add that they are in groupings, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I think this is pretty much it. I tried using some of these blue ones, but it was just going to get to be too much, so I actually don't. I'll put those back. And so here we're going to come in for the close-ups. So yeah, that one says remember. And then I just stamped the date on top of that. So here's the close-ups. And it was a really fun challenge, Sandra. Thanks so much for the challenge. It was definitely tested my use of the anchors. And can't wait to see your page. So everybody let us know what you think. And it was really fun. Talk to you soon. Bye.